Using retrieval styles and data transformations. Having a new trend, we are going to look for the React level tag and drag it and drop it in the tag list area. Now we right click on it, select configure. First we are going to change the width to 4 pixels and the interpolation type to point. Click OK. So now we are looking at the actual data points read from the database. Then we go to the Tools menu, select Options. So the Options dialog box appears. And notice by default the retrieval style is best fit 5. So we are going to change it to best fit 10. Click OK. And notice that it changed. Now we have less data points retrieved because our cycles are 10 pixels instead of 5. We go back to the Tools menu, select Options again, and we are going to change it to best fit 15. So now our cycles are going to be 15 pixels, so we are going to get even less data. So far we have selected the retrieval styles on the Options menu. We are going to do it now for the React level tag. So right click on React level and select Configure. On the width, let's change this value to 1. The style, let's change it to Auto. And now you will see that these individual settings take precedence over whatever we have configured on the Options menu. So we click OK. And here we have the new configuration. Now we are going to add a second instance of the React level tag. So we select it, drag it and drop it. And notice that we cannot differentiate right now both traces because they are the same tag during the same time period using the same retrieval style. So we are going to change the retrieval style to see what difference it makes. Let's select the first one on the list, right click on it, select Configure, and under the Retrieval tab, we are going to change the style selected at the option level to cyclic. So right now we are overriding for this specific trace the retrieval style is not following anymore whatever we configure at the option level. So let's click OK. And notice that the difference is small, but we can see it. We can see a slight difference between both traces. And the best way to see the effect of changing the retrieval style is to see the data set from which this graphic is coming from. So let's uncheck the second option. And let's click on the View the Data Log in Narrow Format button. Notice that for this trace, we are using 171 rows of data. So let's close it, check the second instance, uncheck the first one, click again on the data log button, and notice that for this one we are using only 91 data points. So let's close it. Let's check again the first instance so we can see both of them. And now keep in mind that the first one will not change with whatever we modify at the options level. So we are going to go here to Tools, Options. And under the retrieval style, we are going to change it from best fit 15 to moving average 12.5. Click OK. And here we go. And now we can see how different is the cyclic retrieval style from the moving average 12.5. So now let's change it again. We go to Tools, Options. And now let's select moving average 31 sec. More data points are being retrieved with this one, so we are getting closer to what we have displayed in the first instance. So now let's go back, Tools, Options. And now we are going to select Custom Style. So under the Main Options menu, we are going to leave the retrieval mode as cyclic, and we are going to check under the cyclic attributes the Use Manual Cycles option. And here we are going to change this value to 10 values over equal time intervals. Click OK. And here we go. Now, keep in mind that in this one, we are only using 10 data points because this is cyclic and we just configured it to retrieve only 10 cycles. So let's go again to Tools, Options. And now we are going to change it to Delta. And here we are going to configure a value deadband of 10%. Click OK. a slight difference. Let's go back again to Tools, Options, and now we are going to change the retrieval mode to a slope. Now what is a slope? An aggregation, right? It's going to do a calculation over my data. I am not gonna get anymore the data points that I have in the database. I am going to get back some calculation made over that data set. So select slope and click OK. And now we cannot see it, meaning our scaling is wrong. So let's click on the Scale All Tags button. And here we go. This is the result of retrieving our data using a slope retrieval mode. Now let's save this trend and let's call it Retrieval. And now we can close it. Now we are going to play a bit with the data transformations. So let's select a new trend. In the Tools menu, we select Options. And in the Retrieval Style drop-down list, we select Best Fit 5. And we change the value deadband here to 0. So we go back to the original settings. Click OK. And from the tag list, we are going to look for the m100.tt.pv. Drag it and drop it to the tag list. Right-click on it and go to the Configure menu. Go to the Retrieval tab. And now we are going to override whatever is on the Options configuration for this specific tag. So we are going to change the Retrieval Style to Custom Style, the Retrieval Mode to Average. We are going to use manual cycles, and we are going to change the option to values spaced every, and we are going to use 30 seconds. Click OK. And this is what we get. And now we are going to add another instance. So we select again m100.tt.pv, drag it and drop it in the tag list. Select the option to stack tag traces. Right click on the second instance of the tag and select Configure. In the Retrieval tab, we are going to change the configuration to Custom Style, Retrieval Mode Average. We are going to use manual cycles, and this time we are going to change them to values spaced every 30 seconds. Then we click on the other tab, and we are going to use the transformation Remove Outliers. We leave the default value of 2 for the standard deviations and click OK. So now we add another instance of the temperature. Right click on it, select Configure, go to the Retrieval tab, change the Retrieval Style to Custom Style. The Retrieval Mode is going to be Average. The Use Manual Cycles options check. And again, we are going to change the values spaced every 30 seconds. Now we click on the other tab. And here we are going to use the same transformation, Remove Outliers, but we are going to change the value of the standard deviations to 1. Click OK. And now let's take a look at the data. So we can select the data log in white format. And here we have the 3 instances of the tag, where the second one has a Remove Outliers filter with a standard deviation of 2.0 and the third one 1.0. We close the data log and save this trend as Remove Outliers. So we close it, and now we are going to use a different data transformation, the Snap2. So let's create a new trend. In the tag list, we are going to look for React Temp. Drag it and drop it in the tag list twice. So we had 2 instances of the same tag. Right click on the first instance and select the Configure option. Go to the Retrieval tab, and under the Retrieval Style drop-down list, select Custom Style. In the Retrieval mode, we are going to select Delta, and notice that we have a time and value deadbands of 0. So let's click OK. Now we right-click on the second instance of the React Temp, go to Configure, Retrieval tab, And under the retrieval style, select Custom Style. For the retrieval mode, we select Delta, go to the Other tab, and here we are going to select the transformation Snap to Base Value. For the tolerance, we enter a value of 5. And for the base values, we are going to enter 16. Click OK. And notice where the difference is. And now let's stack the track traces. Notice the difference between the two instances. In the first one, there is a sawtooth variation of the tag on the lower values. And in the second one, those values have been filtered out to a level value of 16. Now the reason why you are not seeing a flat line here is because we are using delta retrieval, so no duplicated values are retrieved. The way we can verify which values are here is by opening the data log in white format. Here we should look for values around 16 that are 5 units over or 5 units under. That is from 11 to 21. So here we go. And here we have 21, 19, 16. All these values are within the tolerance that we define, and all of them have a value of 16 for the second instance of the tag. And the reason we have empty spaces here is because, remember, we are not displaying duplicated values. So we can safely assume that all these timestamps have the same value. Now we can close the data log. And we are going to save the trend as snapfilter.aa trend. Save it and close it.